We are live. So everyone smile. All right. Well, good evening, Democrats. I know we can't all speak at once, but we are so excited to be on tonight. If you are excited, Democrat, if you have things to be excited about, let me just see you wave your hand or something. I love these Democratic Party meetings because we're always excited. We have a lot to be excited about. So again, thank y'all for joining tonight. It has been a long Thursday, but the good thing about second Thursdays is that we get to spend it with fellow Democrats. For those who are here attending for the first time, I'm Jordan Johnson. I have the honor of being your chairman, and we are just excited. We have witnessed Congress pass the American Rescue Plan, which includes $1.9 trillion worth of relief for folks who need it the most. We've seen the president of the United States sign it into law. And the beautiful part about all of that is none of that could have been possible without you, without Georgia. Vice President Harris, every time she breaks the tie, I imagine she's looking at Mitch McConnell like, aha. But she couldn't break the tie if we hadn't have elected Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff to the United States Senate. So tonight, in our invocation portion of our meeting, I've got to just take a moment to thank you all for what you did back in November and what you did back in January for giving us not only Joe Biden, but you gave him some support in the Senate. You gave us our fabulous vice president, in which I have a little figurine of. Don't be jealous, Emily. But we are excited. So let's always remember that we have plenty to be excited about. We have plenty to be, proud of, but also remember that we still have more work to do. So midterms are coming. We have to re-elect Raphael Warnock. We've got to send Stacey Abrams or whoever wants to run for governor into the governor's mansion. We've got to do the work to continue the forward motion that we've experienced over the last few months. And so I am extremely excited about the potential and the opportunity that Democrats have going forward. So a little bit of a preview for our meeting tonight. We have an excellent guest. She's no stranger to anyone. She is doing some things. She has done some things, and she's going to do some more things, i.e. win her race. And so Democrats are behind her. And tonight we're going to hear from Soretta Smith running for Grovetown City Council. But before we do that, I want to acknowledge our chaplain emeritus. I believe he's chaplain emeritus. We want him to come on back as full-time chaplain, but we want to invite our longtime friend Sid Gates to lead us in a moment of centering. And after he leads us into that moment of centering, we will salute our flag, and then we will proceed with the remainder of our meeting. So let's, for old time's sake, have Sid Gates give us a moment of centering.
I think most of you know who I am. I've been a member of this party since '02, and it's chaplain for about 13 years. And I want to thank Chairman Johnson and the leadership for allowing me a few moments tonight to pay homage and some tribute to a former member of our party, Joe Traina. Joe passed recently. He died of COVID complications. He was living in LA. He was 33 years old. And he leaves behind a son, Armand, his life partner, Jessica, and her daughter, Abriana, parents, Denise and Adibal Ibarra, and brother Joshua. There is a wonderful story from the Jewish tradition about a very venerated rabbi, and people would crowd around his house every day and drink in his words. They would look for a blessing. They would look for affirmation. They would look for advice. But there was always a disagreeable fellow in the audience who would always debate and joust with the rabbi, even made fun of his defects and his weaknesses. The disciples of the rabbi couldn't stand this man. And so when the man got sick and died, even though outwardly the disciples and other townspeople were appropriately somber, inside they died a relief kind of offering. And so they were surprised when at the funeral of the man that made fun of the rabbi all the time, that the rabbi burst into tears. And one of the disciples said, well, is it because of the dead man's soul that you're concerned? And he said, no, no. Why would I mourn over our friend who is now in heaven? It was for myself I was grieving. That man was the only friend I had. Here I am surrounded by people who revere me. He was the only one who challenged me. And I fear with him gone, I shall stop growing. And as he said these words, the master burst into tears. I think there's some real parallels in this story and the Joe Traina story. Joe could challenge, Joe could agitate, Joe could debate, Joe could chide, Joe could cross lines. He could be recalcitrant and not always respect established norms and protocol. And this applies to some of his interactions with our party. All that is true. He most certainly was a firebrand, a lightning rod. He was controversial and a malcontent. But more often than not, at the core of all his passion was a lot of good trouble, as John Lewis would say. A lot of good trouble. He was proud to be a progressive Democrat. He was a member of our party and its secretary at one time, and he was a stalwart in our local Young Dems organization. Joe worked on numerous campaigns for Democratic candidates, locally, regionally, and nationally, and he was physically in place for many of those, including the Northeast and Pacific Northwest. Joe was boots on the ground in causes of significant import and concern, and his faith was a very real underpinning of his peace and justice, zeal, and commitments. There's a picture of Joe at the Unitarian Church here in Augusta that is almost life-size, and Joe and other select individuals of that congregation look down from on high as if to inspire, lead, validate, and invite a spirituality that is engaged and get your hands dirty. A great passage from the New Testament, the letter of James. So faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead. I and a host of others can attest that Joe Traina did not have a dead faith. I received an email from Joe's mother this morning, and it reads in part, and Chairman Johnson, you touched on this. I feel that it is quite fitting that you will honor Joe on the day following the passage of a $1 trillion bill that contains legislation that will support families have long needed economic relief and delivery from the encroaching effects of poverty during this worldwide pandemic. In my theological construct, I believe that Joe is well aware of this, as Denise and Annabelle are. He is well aware. Dr. King once opined people often lead to causes and have become committed to great ideas through persons who personify those ideas. They have to find the embodiment of the idea in flesh and blood in order to commit themselves to it. And so immense credit goes to Joe's parents, Annabelle and Denise, well-known activists, hands-on people in our community for just causes. Joe grew up with the wisdom taught and modeled that we all do better when we all do better. And I commend to you a video that Annabelle posted on February 27th that you can view. It is an incredible testimony to Joe's life and his work. So in closing, I would like to read a line Joe had as an entry in some sort of compilation that Denise sent me. And may these words be words of inspiration, motivation, courage, and hope enhancing for us all. And I quote Joe Traina. I owe the best things, let me say that again, I owe the best things that have ever happened to me and the greatest lessons I've learned to that willingness to dissolve fear and act on passion. And I would say, indeed, may we all continue in and find for the first time such life passion ourselves, a passion for the possible, which allows us to realize what Coleridge meant when he said, we receive but what we give. And that's my tribute to Joe tonight on behalf of the party and others that knew and loved him. And I thank you again for this time, Chairman Johnson.
Thank you, Sid. Will we all pause for a moment of silent reflection to honor the life and legacy of Joe Traina and all who were affected by COVID-19? Please join me in a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. In the words of Joey Traina, when we show up, we make change. Let's continue to show up. Let's continue to make change. Will y'all join me in saluting our flag, in which I will hold? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag,
of the United
United
States of
States of
America
America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic for
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for
for
all.
all.
Thank you. All right, let's jump right on in. Do we have any first-time attendees tonight? If you're a first-time attendee, just wave your hand at me and we're going to call on you so that you can tell us who you are and just, we want to welcome you to the party. All right, so let's start with Amber Brantley. Amber, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amber Brantley. I am an Assistant Solicitor General at the Solicitor's Office. And so I moved to Augusta in September 2019. I'm here with my husband and I have a little daughter. She's 2, and a son. He'll be 12 this year. So we're excited to be here. I'm excited to join the Democratic Party, and I just thank you all for having me tonight.
Thank you. All right, it's
Welcome.
Ellie Benson. Ellie, the floor is yours.
Hi, we're just saying something about ourselves. Is that
Yes.
okay? I'm Ellie Benson. I've lived here almost forever in Augusta. I have 4 kids. I've worked many different jobs over the time of my lifetime. My last job was I did social media consulting. Now I'm doing independent learning for data visualization, like statistics and stuff like that. But I'm excited to be here.
All right, welcome to the meeting. As always, is what we have any additional first-time attendees? I see some names I've not seen before. Joseph Wallace, you may be a repeat member or a repeat attendee, but I want you to greet everyone anyhow. Joseph Wallace is a great individual and I'm very proud of him. And so anytime I get opportunity to let Joe toot his horn, I want him to toot it. So Joe, would you greet everyone?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm not currently in a place right now where I can turn my camera on, but I am a returning member, and I just want to say hello to everybody. I currently work at Georgia Shift with leadership and development, and so we just try to make the community here in Augusta a better place. And I look forward to working with and meeting all of you all. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Joe. Breakout leader, guys. Breakout leader. All right, we also have here Tyrus Tillman. Tyrus, you want to greet everyone?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
So I'm not on video because I'm at a stop. I just wanted to join in real quick, want to be more involved with our local Democratic Party. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We also have joining us tonight, let's see here, Ms. Vivian Ransom. Ms. Ransom, is this your first meeting? Okay, we'll come back to Ms. Ransom. Richard Ousley.
Owsley, come
Owsley,
on,
I'm
George.
sorry, brother. Richard Owsley.
Right. Get that Owsley right now. What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing well, brother. Thanks for coming. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Richard Owsley. I'm the owner and operator of Q at the Shop Barbecue down on Martin Luther King, and also Owsley Property Investments, which is a construction company here. And I actually messaged Jordan a few minutes ago about trying to seeing how my construction company can help with the revitalization of District 1. Because I mean, my restaurant's actually in District 2, but I want to help out as much as I can in any way that I can with my crew. I mean, I'm just here to help.
All right. Well, as always, thank y'all for joining the Democratic Party meeting. We, like I said in the beginning of our meeting, we have so much to be excited about. There's so much that we can tout as far as, you know, just progress that we're making, but we want everyone to be a part of it. We want everyone to be a part of what the party has going on, and just just the greatness that this state has presented to us. So thank y'all for joining tonight, and we appreciate you. In the chat section, I believe that it went through. I have just listed our minutes from the February Democratic Party meeting. If all members would take a moment to look at those minutes, we will accept the motion to approve before we go into the remainder of our meeting. If there are no additions or subtractions, a motion would be appropriate. Major kudos to our secretary, Betty Reese. Thumbs up. Do we have a motion? I take that as everyone's still reading. That's good.
Hey, all right, Jordan, I'm lost. Where am I? Where am I finding that message at?
All right, is in the chat box.
Chat box. All right, you know it's my first time trying to find it.
Do we have it? Do we have a motion?
Jean Embry.
Okay, motion made by our second vice president. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Datnat. Okay. I will call the roll of the voting members. Let's see here. Betty Reese.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I got too many things going on. I'm sorry, but he's gone. All right. Yes, sir. Did you need me?
Yes,
I'm here.
thank you. Okay. We were voting on the minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Judith Kraus. You're muted, Judith. We can't hear you. You can just throw your thumb up if you vote yes. All right. Frank Williams.
Yes. Just
Okay. Dr. Embry. Thumbs up. Okay. Jesse Cunningham.
Yes.
Melvin Ivy. You muted, Dr. Ivy.
Yes.
Okay. Emily Green. All right. Elsie Miles.
Yes.
Donald D'Antonac.
Oh, yeah.
Gerald Stacks.
Yes.
Carolyn Odell. Carolyn Odell. Okay. Betty Frank.
Yes.
Harvey Batchelor. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Terrence Dix.
Yes, sir.
Did I omit any voting member? Okay. Are there any
Yes.
opposed?
Yes. You
Did I?
missed my
Okay.
wife.
Where's Sharon? I can't see her.
I'm
Renee,
here.
I'm sorry. All right. All right. Okay. Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's jump right on in, everyone. There's a lot that we have to report on. We're going to keep our reports brief tonight because we want to make sure that Soretta Smith has as much time as she needs to talk to us about her candidacy and give the tell us what she needs from us. So let's go ahead and take reports from our officers, and we will begin with our first vice chair, Dr. L.C. Miles.
Good evening, Democrats. How y'all doing today?
All right.
Hello.
One of the main things we want to try to get approved today, we've had a finance committee meeting, and we had the executive committee met last week, and at that meeting, we the executive committee approved a budget for the year, and it's a very inclusive budget. And if I can get Jordan, could you let Gerald put the budget on the screen so we could look at it? Could we share that screen? Gerald, are you ready to do that?
Yeah, since I'm able.
Okay, I will. I'm doing that now. Give me one. Every time I find your name on here, Gerald, it disappears. So let me. All right, Gerald, you have access.
Thank you.
Okay, Gerald is going to share the budget with you on the screen, and we if any questions about it, you can ask questions. We can go through it, but thank you, Gerald. But this is the budget as the executive committee build it up, and we've got input from a lot of the different entities. You can see the names out there where some of the input came from. And if you have any questions, please asked a question about any, this is a tentative budget, which means that if you look at it, there are certain things in there that we're not gonna be able to change. The rent, the Comcast, the power cable scanner, post office box, the website, the Zoom, what it charges, and office supplies, and there isn't a lot of fluff in there. Both of those is bills that we're gonna have to pay. Now we got a sympathy, for people die or have a illness in the family and so forth. Jean Emery, our second vice chair, she normally gets flowers. We got $500 in there. That doesn't mean we got to spend the whole $500. Hopefully we're not gonna have that many people to be buying flowers and cards for. The postage, we normally from time to time have to send postage out to our members or other people. We are trying to do fundraisers and so forth. We got $500 of seed money for an event that we're thinking about having in the fall. We're gonna, depending on where COVID is at the time, we're gonna have it's gonna be a virtual / in-person event, and we just have to wait back and just kind of plan that based on how well the COVID vaccinations and what's happening at that time. But we definitely plan on having an event to help raise some money to pay for this budget. We also have that the liability and property. We put $1,200 in there just as a. We don't know how much that's going to be right now, but we're going to be out there going out and doing some research to find out how much that is. So the total is $15,746. And what are your questions about it? Anybody have any questions?
So I'll start the questions off. Well, it's not a question as much as it's a comment. I want to make certain that folks understand that this is not including any types of additional monies that we have when it comes down time for campaigning, buying signs, putting candidates up for office, putting boots on the ground. This is separate from that. There's another budget, so to speak, that is always made up when it's time for campaigning and things of that nature. So I wanted to just clarify that, and just in case there were questions about, well, why isn't there any additional revenues, any additional money allocated for candidates and campaigning? Well, because this is our operating budget. That would be a specific campaign type of budget. So I just wanted to answer that before the question came up.
The other thing, Jordan, that we really don't have any elections except for special elections this year. We do have elections in other counties, like some of the other counties have commission elections, but we don't have any elections this year coming. That's one of the reasons that you don't see any get out to vote allocations in here. But just like Jordan said, if a special election come up or somebody comes over, we need to support them, we'll raise that money and that'll be a separate item, a budget. Any other questions about the budget? But if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget as it presented.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
All right, we have a motion by our third vice chair, and I believe we had a second by Mr. Frank Williams. Is that correct?
It was I. It was
Okay,
Jesse.
our fifth vice chair, Jesse Cunningham. All righty, so if we could, Gerald, if you could stop sharing so that I can see the roll. And could you transfer host back over to me, please, so I can see the roll? All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the budget as presented. I will call the roll. Gerald Stacks.
Yes.
Elsie Miles.
Yes.
Franklin Williams.
Yes.
Betty Reese.
Yes.
Judith Kraus.
Yes.
Jean Embry. Jean Embry.
She was on.
She's muted.
Yes.
Okay, Jesse Cunningham.
Yes.
Melvin Ivy.
Yes.
Emily Green.
No.
Okay, Donald DeAntoinette.
Oh, yeah.
Harvey Batchelor,
Yes.
okay. I omitted Renee, I'm sorry. Ms. DeAntonac,
Yes.
okay. Jesse Cunningham, oh, you vote, I'm sorry, Jesse, your name is up here twice. Carolyn Odell,
It's important for you.
okay. Terrence Dix,
Yes.
okay. Did I omit any voting member? And that's a yes for myself. All right, the motion carries. Budget has been approved. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, appreciate that. With that, Jordan, I don't have much more. We're gonna just want y'all to stand by for the upcoming events that we're gonna trying to do and some other fundraisers we're gonna try to do. We'll be announcing those as they come up.
All right, thank you. All right, let's receive a report from our second vice chair, Dr. Jean Embry. She's been working hard on some things that I think everyone is going to be excited to hear about. So, Dr. Embry, you have the floor.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We've had a meeting and several meetings in my committee, and it's been working very hard. We sent out letters and things to those persons we hadn't seen or talked to at least in 3 months. So if you got a letter from me and you showed up today, you're in good shape. If you didn't, please let me know. We're trying to make sure that everybody gets credit for being present as far as that is concerned. Our meetings have been short, but they've been nice, and we've had a lot of information given to each of us for many people who said that they've not been hearing from us, but I think they did today because we sent out many, many letters. If you've not heard from us and I don't see you, please give me a call. It's 706-738-5962 because we want to keep you in touch with us. Thank you much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for the membership chair? All right, and I will also reiterate that if you want to join the party, please make sure that you go to social media. We have many sign up forms on social media. Our membership chair, Emily Green, she and Dr. Embry and our third vice chair are working to update the membership roster and to put out a form for everyone to be able to sign up on. So just make sure that you're following our social media accounts so that you will know of those opportunities to join when they arise, okay? Let's acknowledge our third vice chair, Gerald Stacks.
Right, hello. All right. So as third vice chair, I'm over political action. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the political actions that have taken place that demonstrate some of the great differences between our party and Republicans. So of course, as the chair mentioned earlier, this week, we passed and signed into law a very, very important stimulus bill that will save our economy and bring some very necessary relief to the American people. Checks could be direct deposited as soon as this weekend. The American Rescue Plan contains funds to extend unemployment benefits, expand the child tax credit, assist small businesses, provide for safe education, and to fight this deadly pandemic. But this relief, which is supported by millions of Americans, didn't receive a single Republican vote in Congress, not a single one. So if Republicans still had control of the Senate, we would not be able to have a rescue plan. Republicans would rather leave the American people to fend for themselves in one of the worst crises in our history, and that includes our representative, Rick Allen. He is happy to sit idly by as the American people suffer. But of course, we know that he didn't hesitate to pass the GOP tax scam that enriched the wealthiest Americans at the cost of the middle class. And our state GOP is happy to demonstrate that Republicans are contemptuous of ordinary Americans. Right here in this state, they are doing their best to not only make it harder for you to vote, but to make it nearly impossible for you to vote. That's because they're afraid of the majority of Georgians who have shown and demonstrated that this is a blue state that supports democratic policies to make this a better state for all people. So your continued support this year is going to be so crucial to flipping our congressional seat and maintaining our Senate seat come next year. And your continued hard work is so appreciated. So coming to meetings and participating in our work is absolutely necessary. And I hope to see you all next month and every month to come. So thank you all.
Thank you, Gerald. We appreciate it. And while we're on the topic of Mr. Allen, whenever we're talking about him on Facebook, use hashtag TikTok. And I don't mean TikTok as far as the app. I'm talking TikTok as far as Time's Up in Samuel Jackson voice. Rick's got to go, and we're going to make that happen.
That's right.
All right. Let's acknowledge our fourth vice chair, also Board of Elections member, Terrence Dix. I'm sure that he has some things to share with us, especially being that our state is active in restricting voting rights and access to the ballot. So our fourth vice chair, Terrence Dix, Board of Elections member.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, first of all, formally, you all to be congratulated because, we sent 2 U.S. senators up to D.C. And I can tell you right now, people are still talking about that. And I'm going to tell you that John Lewis, I know that he and C.T. Vivian and Dr. Joseph Lowry and all of them are just really proud of what we've managed to get accomplished. But you see, with that, there's a flip side. And that is that, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, there is no backlash. There's only the lash. And the lash in this case are the voter suppression bills. And I'm just going to be very honest with you. The bottom line is that we got to support on the national tip HR 1, the John Lewis Voter Restoration Act. We really got to, if you could sign up online for that, we need to do that. But from your Board of Elections, I'm just going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. We're just taking care of our business. We are in the middle of a special election that's going to wrap up. The early voting is going to wrap up on tomorrow. We're going to have the election on the 16th. And we are just in the middle of maintenance of our voting machines that functioned excellently. Well, so well that we've got through 3 recounts, and the president is got his issues. Excuse me, the former president has his issues. But bottom line is that because our system functioned as it was supposed to, that's what's going on. But the one thing that I would ask as a member of the Board of Elections to everybody who has been signing up for your for phone banking and voter registration activities and everything, please keep all your information current so that you'll be ready to get everything underway leading up to the 2022 midterms. And we are also looking at the fact that we've got to make sure that everybody's voter registrations are what they need to be. We are now closing in on 140,000 registered voters here in Richmond County alone. We're at 139 and some change, but we're almost to the 140 mark. Hopefully by Election Day 2022, we will be at 150,000 ready to go. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I just want to say that we're going to just, continue to, follow the law. We're going to continue to do what has to be done. Myself and the Secretary of the Board, Marsha Brown, and I, we're, just going to continue to make sure we maintain our access on a local level, make sure that everything's available so that, all people in Richmond County can vote. So if there are no questions, Mr. Chairman, that is my report.
Thank you, Terrence. Appreciate your help, your report on that. All right, let's acknowledge our 5th vice chair, hardest working woman in America, Jessie Cunningham.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
I just want to thank everyone, all the new members that's joining us for the very first time. Amber, Richard, and I think, is it Ely? For the very first time. Thanks for joining us on tonight. Also, pretty
Sorry,
much
Ellie.
Pretty much Elsie has already pretty much, shared with everyone about the events that will be coming up pretty soon. So we will be reaching back out to everyone, informing anyone that's willing to join or participate and helping out and bringing everything together and make everything a success. So if anybody wants to join, please reach out to me and let me know, and I'll let you know what all you can do to make it a success. Thanks.
Thank you, Jesse. We don't receive grants. We don't receive, no one on here is on salary. Every dollar that we raise to function, every dollar that we have to run candidates, to put money behind good candidates, we have to raise that money. And our 5th vice chair is referring to our fundraiser. So we need your help. If you are a member of this party, we need your dues. If you want to become a member of the party, well, we're going to get those too from you. So I said all that just to say we have to have dollars to operate. We have to have money to be able to run candidates, to beat Republicans, to pass good policy. We have to have the dollars. So we will have this discussion at a different forum. But please keep in mind that your help is absolutely needed in securing the future for Augusta. All right. So thank you to all of the officers of this great party. Our secretary, Ms. Reese, do you have anything you would like to share tonight?
No, I'm good. Other than I applaud you, Mr. Chairman, for making sure that we are in compliance and that we have our certification ready to go up to the state at the end of this month. And thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. All right, well, let's get down to some nitty gritty. We have, it is International Women's Month. We are celebrating good women. We're celebrating the women who make
Yay.
this world go round, women who just make it happen. And, as chairman, I am surrounded by great women on this executive committee who keep me straight. You all know Emily Green. She was my campaign manager when I was running for commission. And for some reason, she still thinks she runs my life. She's amazing. On the commission, I'm surrounded by wonderful women. And one of the best commissioners that we have right now is joining us right now, Francine Scott, Super District 9. The Augusta Commission has been working extremely hard since we took office and since before then, but we can only speak for what happened since we said, so help me God. And I want her to share some things that we've been working on and kind of give you an idea of what happens when your leaders, when they work hard. So I'm going to pass the floor down to my friend, my colleague, Commissioner Francine Scott, District 9.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Hello, fellow Democrats.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Well, Commissioner Johnson said something today when we was in a meeting. He said District 9 + 1 = 10. So we 10.
Perfect score. Perfect 10.
But I'm going to be very brief because I know you are excited and you're ready to hear from Soretta. Commissioner Johnson and I represent the same district, District 1, and I represent District 9. We have been working on COVID vaccination. We did a pop-up clinic last Friday, and we was able to vaccinate 120 people in it was held in the Harrisburg area, and we tried to concentrate on that area. And with the pop-up clinics we are doing, we're trying to get the underserved population, the hard to people to get online to register. So that's what we were doing. We will be doing another one on Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day, from 9 to 2 at the Sand Hills Community Recreation Center. There's no registration prior. You don't have to register before you get there. You can register when you get there. So if you know anyone who is in need of a COVID-19 vaccination, they could come to Sand Hills Community Center on next Wednesday. And I know everybody else is wondering what's coming up on the 16th. Well, that's the flash vote. And there's 7 areas that we're looking in, and I'm not going to go through every last one that's listed, but I just want, for quality life, we will have Dyers Park come back online, brand new. We're looking at some improvement in Diamond Lakes. We're looking to do the new James Brown Arena. And if you want to see the upgrades, the new renderings, you can go to the new James Brown Arena to look at what we got going. It's very exciting. So I ask each of you to go online. And we're looking at doing a water park. And we're working on the 5th Street Bridge. There's lots more, but for the sake of time, I'm not, Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to go through all of it. For infrastructure, we're looking at East Augusta Road and Drainage, Phase 5, and is it 6 and 7? We're looking at the Willis Former road improvement. And like I said, it's many more on the list. But for sake of time, I do not want to go through all of it. And for the government facilities, we're looking at a new juvenile court facility. And we're looking at I think we already have the paperwork has been transferred over with, we will have the Craig Halton Center as the new juvenile court facility when we get ready to do a little renovation over there. And economic development, we're still looking at blight mitigation and doing the Cyber Center parking deck that we have not completed. And that's it. If you want to know more information, you can actually call me at 706-564-8712. I will put it in the chat. And you can also go to Augusta GA Gov and look at the breakdown on the website.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, third vice.
Given the many benefits described by Commissioner Scott, I would like to make a motion that the Richmond County Democratic Party formally endorse SPLOST 8 and encourage voters to vote yes on SPLOST 8.
All right. There's a motion to formally endorse SPLOST. Is there a second?
Jean Embry, second.
All right. There's a motion and a second. And I will echo my colleague from the 9th when I say that this package is a good package for this city. It addresses some of the more pressing needs in this city. When it rains, myself and Commissioner Scott can't get out of our houses. Well, in this package, there's money to solve that problem. We're going to use it for the benefit of the people. So I think that is in order. So there's a motion and a second. How about we do all voting members, all in favor, vote yes by just by verbal. So we're going to do a verbal vote. Vote by acclamation. So all voting members in favor of the motion, just say aye.
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 Aye. All voting members that are opposed. All righty, motion carries. Thank you. And thank you, Commissioner Scott, for your hard work. We have a hand up. Mr. Batchelor, have a question?
Yes. I'll be honest, I haven't been vaccinated yet. Ms. Scott, are there any particular criteria that one must have to be vaccinated?
It actually
pop up?
it opened up. It's 55 plus now. It was 65.
Oh.
It was 1A but now it's 1A and 1B, 55 plus. Healthcare workers, caregivers,
and teachers now.
Teachers, and if you have a serious illness, you can get vaccinated. But I put my number in the chat box. Give me a call and I can see what I can do to help you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, Commissioner Scott. We have a unique opportunity again to elect good people to public office. And I'm just so excited about this young lady. I met her some years back. She has just been consistent in who she is, not even as a political leader, but as a friend. When I was running for office back in 2019 and 2020, she called me because she was running her own race as well, but we were partners in building each other up, iron sharpening iron, encouraging one another, because running for office is not easy. It's fun when you're kissing babies and shaking hands, but when you're campaigning during COVID, it is difficult. And so we got a chance to know each other just because we had some similar situations going on our campaigns. But she is running to succeed Alan Transu on the Grovetown City Council. And I'm telling you something, when you start electing people who think like Soretta Smith to county commissions and city councils, you get progress, you get road resurfacing, you get policy making, you get the real deal. And we have an opportunity to elect Soretta Smith to the Grovetown City Council. I know that's Columbia County and we're Richmond, but we can all get together and help push Soretta over the finish line. That's what I intend to do. And that's what I asked this entire political party to do. It's a nonpartisan race, but you all know that our issues are very much so partisan. So we have an opportunity to elect somebody who thinks like us and who's going to represent us. I'm going to hush, and I'm going to pass the floor down to our next city councilwoman of Grovetown. Who would have thought that we could have put a Democrat in Grovetown? Well, we're going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Soretta Smith.
Good evening and thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Commissioner. Thank you so much. Good evening, Richmond County Dems. Always a pleasure to be in the house with you all. Thankful, grateful for this opportunity to just come on tonight and say a few words. Good to see a lot of faces. Good to see some new faces. And so I'm just really, really excited. As our commissioner and chair has said, in November of last year, we came out of a loss in the Senate race. We lost the seat, but we gained so much more. We met some great people, some wonderful people. We learned some really important lessons, all that I know have prepared me for this moment now. And then in November, we lost our beloved Councilman Alan Transu, who was a neighbor, a friend, a colleague, and he and I often talk politics, especially Grovetown city politics. And so, you know, after speaking to his wife, because oftentimes wives will step up to run for seats. And after speaking to his wife and finding out that she was not going to pursue the seat, and just talking with the team, we decided that this is what I think he would want me to do, to continue his legacy, to continue his work. And we are so like-minded, both people of faith, both people that love people, both people that love serving people, people that are transparent in our leadership, and people that want what's best for all people. And so like-minded in so many ways. And so we made the decision that we were going to step up and that we were going to win this seat. And doggone it, we're winning this seat. We have been out here. We had our press conference on the 25th of January. We came out the gate with a press conference. Once we qualified, we started lit dropping. We've been lit dropping and phone banking. We've been sending out postcards. We've been sign waving. We've been doing it all. We've been extremely intentional about everything that we've been doing to make sure that we reach voters, to make sure that we have a significant turnout, just like we did in the general election and for the Senate runoff. But I'm concerned because after 3 weeks of early voting, we've only had 169 people to turn out to vote, over 8,500 people. And so I am appealing to you tonight. We have this last weekend to get out the vote push. We want to get folks on the ground, canvassers, sign waivers, phone bankers. You know, we want to take over Grovetown this weekend. We want our presence to be felt. We want our presence to be known. We want people to go to sleep dreaming about Soretta Smith for Grovetown City Council. We want them to wake up on Sunday morning praising the Lord. Soretta Smith for Grovetown City Council. Amen. And then we want them to march into the beginning of their week, camping out at the precincts because they can't wait to vote for Soretta Smith for Grovetown City Council. And so I need some help. I'm asking for you to come on out to Grovetown on Saturday. We will be meeting in the old Food Line parking lot, right there next to the McDonald's across from the CVS at 12 noon. And we're going to be going from about 12 noon to 3 p.m. And we're going to give it one last push to turn voters out. That is one of my goals. It is one of my platform on my platform is getting the citizens of this city more engaged civically, getting them involved and getting them. And so that's going to start with getting them turn out to vote. And then we're going to work really hard to get them more engaged and more involved in their city, because it's their city. The city belongs to the people. This seat belongs to the people. We put in the work. We've shown the people who we are. We've shown them our heart. We've shown them what we believe. We've shown them the work that we can do. But we just have this one more push this weekend to get across that finish line. And we're excited. And I hope to see some of your beautiful faces, like Dr. L.C. Miles, that smile, and Hugh at the barbecue. You can bring me some ribs, brother.
I'll bring them to you.
Some energy. You know, I like your ribs and your baked beans. and Miss Betty Reese, she can, you know, love me and nurture me through this last weekend here. And so I'm just having some fun. I like to have fun, for those of you that know me. But I'm just appealing to you to come on out this weekend and help us get the vote out and get across the finish line. And so that on Tuesday, victorious, my brother will be looking down from heaven. And I know he's at rest and he's at peace, but he'll be looking down from heaven and smiling, knowing that his legacy will not die, that it will still continue to go forth. And we're going to do some great things out here in Grovetown. And I'm excited about that and asking you to help me on this journey. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity to speak. And I look forward to seeing some of you this weekend, hopefully.
So you've heard the marching orders. Let's give our next city councilwoman a round of applause, like only Democrats can do. All right. You've heard the marching orders. We've got to go help Mayor Soretta Smith. I'm sorry. Councilwoman Soretta Smith.
That's down the road. What time, candidate Smith? What time on Saturday?
We will kick off 12 noon.
Location.
12 noon. We're going to have pizza. We're going to have refreshed pizzas and Coke and pop and water.
But you put the location in the chat box.
I can see my face.
Are you coming, Rose? Rose, are you coming?
This is Zion, but yes, I'll bring her. I will.
And what we'll also do is
Miss Clara, could you put the location in the chat box?
Yes, sir. I'm going to look up the exact address and put the exact address in there for you.
Thank you.
I'm also going to send out a notification to the membership
Great.
about a location and time.
Okay,
but
good.
Take some time this Saturday, everyone, and let's go support Soretta Smith for Grovetown City Council. Listen, when I went out to the corner to Soundwave a few weeks ago, I felt the same energy in Grovetown that we just felt in Richmond County during our commission races and during our DA's races. The amount of people honking horns, the amount of people giving thumbs up, folks who may not even think the way that we think. They are excited about the opportunity to have a candidate that will listen to them when they speak, that will listen to their concerns. So I implore you to go and help her, and not only help her, but give. So Soretta, if you would also put your giving link in the chat box. We want to also be able to financially support this campaign. And I am just, again, proud to call you a friend. And if you have any questions for Ms. Smith, we have time. It's 8 o'clock, but we have time for maybe 2 questions if you want to ask a question of Ms. Smith. If not, we can move forward. But if you have any questions, now is your opportunity to ask her a question or 2. We'll only take 2 questions because of time. All right. Well, no questions means that everyone's confident in you now, and I know why. All right. So look like our third vice chair's motion to be recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I think, given the great importance of having Democratic representation in Columbia County, and especially in the city of Grovetown, I would like to make a motion that the Richmond County Democratic Party make a contribution to Ms. Smith's campaign in the amount of $250.
Wow.
Second.
There's a motion by our third vice, a second by our fourth vice to give to the campaign of Soretta Smith $250. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Let's write that check. We're going to write the check faster than Joe Biden.
Better move.
Okay, leave Biden alone.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So thank you so much. It's very timely. We are planning after we are done with all of our canvassing and sign waving and phone banking. I'm putting together a meet the candidate at the Pelican Snowball place here in Grovetown, and we're going to be giving free snowballs away. We've got some custom made masks that we're going to be giving out. So thank you very much. That's very timely. That will help us to maybe we can increase the number of snowballs that we're going to be giving out. And so feel free to come break ice with us as well at the Pelican Snowball place. There's a real little cute place here in Grovetown. A lot of families gather there. And so we're excited about being there Saturday. We have friends and family that live out here in the Grovetown city limits. Please let them know about the candidate meet and greet at 4 p.m. at the Pelican Snowball. And so we're looking forward to breaking ice and having a really good time.
All righty. All right. That's what I'm talking about. So just send us all the information and I'll push it out to the membership. All right. And again, we support you 100% and we can't wait to celebrate with you. When is your election day?
16 March is election day. Tomorrow is the last day of voting. That's what I've been on the phones, phone banking pretty much all afternoon. Was trying to get to turn out some more voters before election day. So which we had a target number of people we were trying to get to early vote. We're almost there. And so I'm going to hop off and make some more calls here. And but election day is on 16 March. From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. those polls open. And so we're excited.
And as you can see, she's a veteran because only veterans say 16 March. Us civilians are like, what? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And thank you, Soretta, for coming on.
Thank you.
All righty, please stay encouraged, stay energized. Know that the work that we do matters and that it pays off. Wherever there's people, there's power, and power changes things. Good power changes things. And so we are excited about this opportunity to change things. I see a hand up, Mr. Dietnak, and then after that, we will entertain any announcements and then we will adjourn. So Mr. Dietnak.
Yeah, 2 quick questions. I was told and saw for myself that the voting site and Kara J. Mays is closed. I'd like to hear why and why were we aware of it. And also, I noticed that Mr. Dix hadn't said anything about the board. He talks about, which is a good thing, people joining the Democratic Party, the numbers are great. But there's also, I think they're in the process of purging.
I'll speak to that, and I'll give Mr. Dix opportunity. I'm not aware of Carrie Mays being closed. And I'm not aware of any purges either, but I'll yield to our Board of Elections representative to answer to that.
I like to hear him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dadnag, of course. Number one, I just want to say this is the first I've heard of Carrie J. Mays being closed. I by the way, I was, before the call closed out, I was going to point out that I think Minnick Park, because of some work that has to be, because of some maintenance.
I got that part. I got that. But Carrie Mays is not closed. That's what you're telling me, correct?
No, I said I hadn't heard that. I had not been informed on that. I've been in several meetings and that has not come up. And the board clearly has not voted on that. So again, I will check with Lynn Bailey though to make sure, and I'll get you a response on that. But as far as I know, and I met with her personally today, and I'm sure if that were the case, she would have explained that to me.
And you all, excuse me, I'm pressed for time. You all are not in the process for people that miss 2 cycles of voting. You all not going through the same thing that you didn't tell us from the last time you purged. We found out about it by then. You already had purged. I'm talking about Richmond County now, not talking about the state. But whenever you do something, that board belongs to the citizens of the city. Any decision that you make that can have an effect on this city or even the Black community, we should know about it. And the state know more about it, or people around the state know about it before we know about it, and that's wrong. And I'm very angry.
Yeah, okay. And I'll move to make sure if that is in fact the case. I will do everything we can to rectify that. But I do want to go back to my earlier statements about the inactive voter list, that we are going to be letting people know earlier about the inactive voter status. Okay. And making sure that people, and that was a part of my discussion about registration, making sure that these folks are re-registered and ready to go. And we are going to be talking to people earlier.
Yeah, but
so that's all. And I thank you for reiterating.
I understand this. I love you, my brother. I do. But what I want, you just one person, but as a board, the decision you guys make will affect us. We're Democrats. We fight we fight like hell to get the things we got now. And we don't want to look around in our back, and the gains we make and behind our back, we've been purged. That's the word. Now,
we're going to definitely look for an update on that. And once we get an update, we'll get it back to you.
Yes, sir. Please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I see. Emily, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I had a question. I think that we might be coming up to a new election for or appointee process for the Richmond County electors. And could you, or I don't know if this is whose area that falls into, could someone explain like how we're going to move forward with that this year? Because I think this is the new year for that. And
are you referring to the Board of Elections members?
Yes.
Okay, so got you. So the Marsha Brown was appointed. She was our latest appointee. Her appointment is it expires at the end of this month. And so the process would simply be the executive committee would motion to reappoint her. That conversation has already been held. We have to just confirm with Ms. Brown that she in fact does want to be reappointed. If she does, the executive committee will agree to that, and we're going to bring that appointment to the body to be made.
Right. Chair Jordan,
yes.
He has agreed to stay in that office. So can we go ahead and vote tonight on her appointees for that role still?
Well, it would need to go before the executive committee and then to the body. So on the executive committee meeting, our next month's executive committee meeting, we'll vote to approve her appointment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ready to move forward on that.
Thank you.
Marsha has served us very well, and we want to make sure that we keep her there.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
she has. And I want to point out too, she is also the secretary of the
Absolutely.
Board of Elections. And so I'm saying she has been very active and very effective. So
Yes,
I do
yes.
want to say that of my
Yes.
colleague.
All righty. All right. Are there any announcements? Perrin, good to see you. Our friend from Columbia County. Good to see you as always.
Hi,
I got one.
Hey, y'all.
One quick.
Okay. Frank Williams, you're recognized for an announcement.
Yes, the New Georgia Project Action Fund is doing a campaign beginning tomorrow through all next week. Each day we will focus on a different company that we are doing text campaigns around the country to get pressure on them about the voting bill.
Yes.
So if you go to the New Georgia Project, either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter account, you'll see the link to sign up to be part of the text bank. And tomorrow, I think tomorrow we're focusing on Delta Airlines.
All right.
All righty. Thank you. Any other announcements?
Jordan, I just want to make one comment.
All right. First Vice.
You know, along with the state of Georgia, there are 43 other states that are passing bills to suppress voting throughout the country. Most of these states are ran by Republican-controlled legislators. You know, the only way to stop these kind of bills from passing is for us to pass the John Lewis Voter Registration Act.
Amen.
I would really implore each of you to contact all of your representatives, especially we own, the Democrats have a unique ability right now to be in charge of everything once again. Now, while we're in charge, we need to take advantage of all of any advantages that we can take. And one of the things that we need to do is pass this bill. Since the Voting Rights Act expired a few years ago, the states have had impunity in the suppressing voters and passing all kind of derogatory lands, how things are set up. But that Voting Rights Act will actually require them to submit some of those changes to the Justice Department, which is a Democratic Justice Department, before they can make these changes. So it's imperative that we try to get that bill through the House, through the Senate, and let the president sign it while we have all three of the offices. We're in charge of all three of these offices. This is one of the bills that we really have to get this bill through and make it happen. And I think it's on all of us to contact our congressmen and our senators and ensure that they get this bill moved and passed. So I'm going to write up there, and I'm going to call or whatever I can do to get them to move this bill forward. I encourage all of you to do that, because it is very important that we do something to try to stop the tide of these Republican-controlled legislators from passing all these. We'll be back past 64 at this time. By the time we get, they may well pass the poll act bill or the poll tax bill again. So really, I think this is we are really missing a unique chance to come up with a national bill that would really kind of stem some of these bills that these Republicans are trying to put in right now. So thank you. If you have any questions about it, please give me a holler and I'll kind of give you some names. You can go ahead and get your names of your representatives and send them a letter or make a call. Anything will help. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I just want to add one thing, and that is that's why that question about the debate about the filibuster is so important, because I'll be honest with you, the ability of our opponents to use the filibuster to hold that up, they will use it. That is why we need it either altered or removed. Okay?
Amen.
That's where we as Democrats need to be.
All right. Well, guys, we've had a wonderful meeting. We've been very much so enlightened on a number of things. Let's stay focused, let's stay engaged, and let's stay connected. So if you haven't liked us on social media, let's go ahead and do that now so we can stay engaged on things coming forward. We're going to be having some in-person events here soon. So stay plugged in so that you can stay connected with the Richmond County Party. All right. So thank you for joining tonight. We had a blast, and I will see you at our April meeting. Okay. Have a wonderful evening. If there are no items left to address, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Go Democrats.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Good meeting.